So raise your hand if you think of your customers, your prospects, your readers as an audience. Yeah, everybody does, right? Raise your hand if you think of them instead as a community. What a nice word, right? Community. Such a nice word. I think that audience implies broadcasting. It's one to many. And community implies many to many. Everybody is a part of this conversation. And I really think if you can reframe the way that you're thinking of your audience as a community, and then you can put that into action, it can be incredibly powerful for your brand, and it can create a new connection with them that is invaluable. So I want to share these two stories of these communities that my teams and I have built. So I want to take it back to PhotoShelter. I started at PhotoShelter in 2015. They were just building out this new B2B product within the company that they already had, which was a B2C product. I was their first marketing hire. My boss, Yako, was the first person to bring on a content marketing person. I had never done content marketing before. I think I learned everything I know about content marketing from CMI's blog, so cheers to CMI on that one. And we really had one starting place, which was I interviewed all of our existing customers, which was a small handful at the time. My boss said, just talk to them and find out what they want to learn. So I asked them all the same question. What do you want to learn from us? And over again, they told me, I just want to know how other people are doing this. At PhotoShelter, we worked with creative people for brands, pro sports teams, all sorts of different companies, so people who were in creative roles at different types of companies. And everybody said, I just want to learn from everybody else. They told us that in 2015 when I started there. And so we built a content marketing strategy around that answer. You can see in this picture, that's me on the sidelines of an NFL football game, hovering over the shoulder of a photographer who worked for the New York Jets, telling his story. We created this whole marketing strategy around let's highlight these real people and how they do their jobs. And so I was always hovering over the shoulder of some creative person. So I was writing stories about them. I was doing a video series called Behind the Scenes with the Storytellers, which was a really fun way to actually show what they were doing. And then we did monthly webinars. So every month we would have somebody on our webinar sharing how they did their creative work. And somewhere along the way, we started referring to everybody who we were highlighting as a member of our PhotoShelter community. It was a word that we used a lot, but a lot of the time, I was controlling who we were highlighting and whose voice we were hearing. So then March 2020 happens. Womp, the pandemic. We all go remote. My team is home just like everybody else. And we said, how are people getting creative at home? It's such a hard thing to be creative in your home without your coworkers around. You're just stuck there. Plus, we're based in New York, so we felt that like very heavily. So we sent out an email that first week, and we said, send us your ways of getting creative at home. What's your creativity hack? Within a week, we turned it around into a webinar, and we said, here's your hacks. This is what you told us. We're going to share it back with you. And for the first time, we had been running webinars for years, monthly, and we had never turned our cameras on. We had always just had these faceless webinars, and we like to use that word community. And like, people didn't even know what we looked like. They didn't know much about our team. We didn't see them. And we got like a handful of questions in the questions box every time. So for the first time, we pulled the content from our community, then turned on our cameras and said, everybody start weighing in on the chat. What are your other hacks? Let's have a conversation. And we had never had so many comments and questions in the questions box. We felt this overwhelming sense that people wanted connection. They were really craving that connection with other creative people. And so we started having weekly webinars. It was crazy. It was like we were all just living on this weird creative high, like trying to help meet the demand for connection. Until in June 2020, we had an all-day summit for creative people. So this was our way of like really meeting that demand in a new way. We had an all-day virtual event. We had 22 speakers that we ran through GoToWebinar. We had one main stage. We churned them out very quickly. And then we launched at the same time a Slack community where people could talk to each other during this all-day event. And we also ran all of our Q&A through that Slack channel. So the conversation would be happening in Slack, and then the hosts on the main stage would be answering those questions, fielding them to our speakers. People were buzzing. It was magic. I have never had a moment like this before in my marketing career. I was like, man, people are like shouting out their former coworkers. People were thanking the speakers. They were like, oh, hey, I'm from Colorado too. We should meet up sometime. Like, these are strangers. It was so cool. It was just such an amazing thing to see this photo shelter community that we had always talked about finally coming together and turning into a real thing. It was a living, breathing community. And then we decided we would leave the Slack community open. So after that, it became a community where people could log in anytime, talk to other creative people, and learn from each other. And then we also kept our webinars going, and those webinar Q&As always happened in the Slack channel. So it was another reason to log back into the community and be a part of the conversation.